Hi there, it's Tanga here, and I hope you are well. I'm just pulling up with a cup of coffee, and I wanted to spend a few minutes catching up with you and sharing another nugget that I've had over the last 4 weeks that I've been part of a 30-day visionary leadership challenge. Now, if you've missed my other shares, just go back over the last 3 or 4 weeks and you'll see some of the things that I've shared with you there in my emails. This week, I wanted to share with you my thoughts on this concept of unconscious bias. Now, I'll explain this by giving you a little bit of a scenario. So, over the last week or two, I've been helping a young mum who has escaped domestic violence about a year ago. She's living in temporary housing with two teenage sons and a young 2-year-old daughter. And for some reason, she hadn't been connected in with the help that you would normally have. So I've stepped in there until she can link in with other areas of specialised help. And I've actually driven her to homes to check out homes. I've gone out of my own time to check them out for her myself as well until they are rehoused. And I stopped myself the other day just on my way home and I asked myself this question. If that was the perpetrator that was presenting himself or herself to me and needing help, would I go out of my way over and above my normal duties? Just to frame this in a little bit, I seem to be leaning towards helping victims of domestic violence and family violence. In my background, growing up to the age of 10, my dad was a violent alcoholic, and he many occasions beat my mum. And for many years, mum had taken myself and my siblings to various different shelters and temporary homes, and then moved back to dad to try and reconcile, and then moved out again after another violent spat. And I guess I have this compassion that much more towards victims of domestic violence. And I wanted to understand whether, firstly, I would respond to the help of a perpetrator to the levels that I'm doing now for the victim. And then secondly, if I wasn't going to do that, would I judge myself over that as well? And I have to say, my unconscious bias in this space, I probably wouldn't go the extra mile. I would support the person, the perpetrator, within the boundaries of my role, but I wouldn't go over and above that. My honest feeling to that is I feel a bit guilty that I would judge someone of that. And so I'm consciously encouraging myself that regardless of which side of the fence they're presenting for help, I will go out of my way. And the reason for that is I was able to forgive my dad after many years of this abuse and alcohol, and I was on the other end of some of this abuse. I was able to forgive him when I learnt that his dad was exactly the same. His dad abused his mum, my grandma, my granddad on my grandma, and so my dad was a victim, I guess, another victim. It was that intergenerational trauma that was just repeating itself. So I've made a conscious decision that it's not my place to judge. And I'm going to make every effort to ensure that I notice if I'm leaning away from giving that extended help that I should. I'm not proud of those feelings, but I'm aware of them. I'll heal those, and I will go the extra mile as well. So it's a share that I wanted to have with you, because I guess, if I was to ask you, do you have any unconscious bias? And I would encourage you to, if you can pinch yourself and you feel that, then yes, you have unconscious bias, because you're human. And by human nature, we all have it. The difference is, in your self-awareness, in your reflection, you are able to go through and pull out what those unconscious biases are, and slow down. If you notice it, slow down and assess the situation in a way that you would want to serve it and address that situation as well. And let's not judge ourselves, let's not judge each other. It is what it is. We are human, and that tendency to gravitate to people that look like you, that think like you, that speak like you, that eat like you, that is a natural tendency that we have. If we want to be sitting in a growth mindset, and if we want to operate from a higher frequency, then surely addressing, being aware of what your unconscious bias is a part of that process as well. So I wanted to offer that to you. I think it's all part of us growing and getting better at giving. And, I'd love for you to share with me if this video and watching this and me sharing has opened anything up for you that has been helpful or not. I'm open to any thoughts on this as well, and your perspective. All right, so enjoy the rest of your tea or coffee or hot chocolate, and I wish you well, and I'll pop in next week with another video. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.